Coming up in today's MLB recap, a Milwaukee rookie almost threw a no-no in his debut last week, and in his second start almost threw a perfect game. He has more wins than hits allowed in his two first starts. Aaron Judge and Cal Raleigh are duking it out for the MLB home run crown, and Cal, he made some big-time history yesterday. Things got pretty heated in the Astros versus the Halos. Zach Neto took a baseball to the hands. He and Hunter Brown, they got into it. He had a double slide down in the Phillies and Mets game. That was crazy. Rafael Devers, he took on his old team. He and Aroldis Chapman, they nodded at each other before their duel. And Denzel Clark, the rookie for the A's, he made yet another 5-star catch. Is he the best defender in baseball? We'll talk about all of that and more in today's MLB recap. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and leave a like so you never miss out on these videos. And don't forget to save yourself 20 bucks off all of your baseball tickets or concert tickets using code Fuzzy on SeatGeek, as well as using code Fuzzy on Underdog. Gets you up to $1,000 in bonus cash credit. And if you've never played before or signed up, it's very easy, and if you do it today, you get a free pick'em when you use code Fuzzy. You're welcome. But as always, please play responsibly. Real quick before we talk about all of the games, we do have a few updates about suspensions around the game of baseball. Dennis Santana of the Pirates, he does get a 4-game suspension for swiping at a fan out in the bullpen, the same that Anthony Rendon got back when he swiped at a fan. Robert Suarez of the Padres, he's getting 1 game after he hit Ohtani with 100 miles an hour, and then both of the managers from that series, Dave Roberts of the Dodgers and Mike Schildt of the Padres, they also got suspended for 1 game, but unlike Suarez, they're going to accept their suspension today. The Brewers quite literally have a Terminator on their hands. Jacob Misiorowski looks that good. He went up a few against the Twins on RBI knocks from Jackson Chourio and Christian Yelich. By the way, Yelich had a career day. He almost had, 10 RBIs without hitting a single home run. The rookie Jacob Misiorowski was insane on the bump. He threw 6 perfect innings in his second start after tossing 5 no-no in his debut. Of course, we know that his cramp and an ankle thing ended his first start. He went 11 no-hit innings to start his career. That's the second best since integration. Yelich, he line went to left field for 3 more RBIs, so that's 4 RBIs as he clears the bases. Miz, he retired 18 in a row before it got ruined with a 4-pitch walk, and there goes the shutout. Matt Wallner, he jolted out a 2-run blast. All Jacob could do now is kind of just smile as he's taken out. He's now made 2 starts in MLB. He's thrown 43 pitches at 100 plus miles an hour. He's an absolute tank. Yelich, he cleared the bases again. He's got 7 of his 8 RBIs already. Joey Ortiz and Chourio, they also had 3 RBIs, but Yelich's 8 RBI explosion and Jacob Misiorowski, they stole the show. By the way, I think Yelich is just the second human ever to have 8 RBIs in a game without hitting a single home run. The Brewers are 41-35. The Twins are 37-38. Here we go. Rafael Devers versus old team already. Just a few days after getting traded, he's facing the Red Sox, and he's chopping up with his old teammates. He grounded out in his first at-bat, but that did get Yaz to third base, which ended up being key because in this next clip, Hamilton, he just straight up missed the third out like in MLB The Show, and he botches it. At least he made up for it, though. David Hamilton, after the Giants went up a few, crushed a 2-run home run, and Saydahn, he tied it with his second base hit of the game. Now, the Giants did take the lead back again, but Roman Anthony did his thing. That is a rocket base hit up the gut to score a run. The Boston Red Sox pulled a San Francisco Giants. They stole the lead only to give it right back up. It's 5-5, but Saydahn, he put the team off his back. He crushed one off against Sean Jelly, who was going viral on TikTok right now for all the wrong reasons. Anyways, moving on. Saydahn had a monster game. That's his 7th home run. He's so close to getting back to a 100 OPS. Aroldis got 1 more insurance run on an Abraham Toro RBI, and now we got to show Chapman versus his old buddy, Rafael Devers. They both kind of gave each other a nod out of respect. Devers, he fouling off, then he chased a few pitches. He ended up striking out. He went 0 for 5 in his debut against his old team. Chappie now has 14 saves. The Red Sox are 40-37. Clearly, the Giants are going to be okay, but they're now 1-3 with Devers on the squad. You guys are about to see history. Cal, he passed Johnny Bench for a brand new MLB record for catchers. I do have to show this first. Sammy Sosa, this is the first time he's been in Wrigley in 21 years. Let me repeat that, 21 years. I guess the Cubs owner, the Ricketts family, just would not let him back in over personal reasons, but I'm glad to see him back in where he kind of saved the game of baseball. There it is, number 28, Cal Raleigh just tied Johnny Bench for the most home runs by a catcher before the All-Star break ever. Ian Happy hammered out his 9th, and after Michael Busch played a 2 with a single, Reese McGuire, he sent one out as well. The Cubs are up 4-2. Scratch that. Mitch Garver and Cal Raleigh stole the show and the lead back with some thunderous swings. Garv saucy at his first of 2, and Cal, he cranked his second, his 29th. That is the most ever by a catcher before the All-Star break, and we still have 4 weeks left before the All-Star break. Can he win MVP? He's number 1 in home runs and RBIs as a catcher. Garver, he stunted on everyone on a second home run. That 3-run home run gives him 5 RBIs on the day. The Mariners are 38-36. The Cubs are still cruising at 45 and 30. Judge hit a home run as well. We'll talk about that later, but imagine if the Mariners never traded away Eugenio Suarez. They would have the best power-hitting third base catcher duo in all of baseball, kind of like by far. Ketel Marte and Ryan McMahon both tattooed some baseballs. Ketel's was a 3-run home run. McMahon's almost went 470 feet. Mickey Moniak, he matched his third? Yeah, that's his third home run in his last 4 games, and we have to find a way to get this guy to Atlanta. Hunter Goodman, he's probably going to be the Rockies' All-Star. If it's not Jake Bird, I don't think it's Jake Bird. He bounced it down the left field line for 2 more RBIs. He has almost 50 RBIs. He has a 123 OPS plus. But remember how we started this game. Imagine if Gino was still a Mariner. That's his 23rd home run and number 299 for his career. 1 away from 300. Ildemaro Vargas ran into one as well. It was a home run derby down in Coors. That's the 5th of the day already. Make it 6. Gino's 2nd of the game is his 24th of the season and number 300 for his career. Fans on Twitter are saying that he should sell out after he becomes a free agent and go to the Rockies so he can just try and mash his way to 500 home runs. Now, his 3 RBI day was beat by Ketel, who had 5 RBIs. He has 24 extra base hits in 49 games. He is one of the greatest second base talents this game has ever seen. The Diamondbacks are over 500. The Rockies, no, we can't say the same. No, we can't. We have back-to-back 14-8 ball games. Yandy Diaz, he broke it open against Jack Flaherty with his first of 2 home runs in Tampa. They got 4 across in the first inning with a Mead RBI and a Matt Thaiss 2-run double. Riley Green, I didn't know this, but he's from Florida. That is a 432-foot nuke deep into the Florida night. He also had 2 home runs, by the way. Taylor Walls, it's his turn not to hit a home run, but to drive in some runs. He had a 2-run double that resulted in 3 runs after the ball got away for the Tigers. That's an ouchie. Cameron Meisner's been awful, so the Rays said, hey, can you just put the ball in play with a bunt? And Yandy, that's his 12th of the year. He has a 136 OPS plus since 2022. That's almost 500 games worth of baseball where he's almost been 40% better than the average hitter. The Rays, they got into double digits with a Josh Lowe RBI double. Matt Thaiss collected his 3rd RBI of the night, and Raleigh, he demolished a 2nd one. He's up to 17 home runs and 59 RBIs. Colt Keith also connected on a home run, but it was too little, too late. The Rays, they take it 14-8. They're 42 and 34. The Tigers, they're still 48 and 29. Baseball is so funny because the Braves just swept one of the best teams in baseball, the Mets. Then they lost to one of the worst teams in baseball as Didier, I think that's how you say this, Didier Fuentes made his debut. He's 20, and I'm talking fresh 20. He had his birthday 4 days ago. He had a ton of strikeouts in the minor leagues. He was fast-tracked. He only had 1 start in AAA. His first strikeout was on a looping curveball. His dad was fired up. He's also got 97 plus in his back pocket, but this is Major League Baseball. These guys can catch up to it. Liam Hicks collects the RBI, and check out Otto Lopez with the insane diving stop and throw to rob Michael Harris. Kyle Stowers, he's charging out there in left field. The defense for Miami was great all game, and Fuentes, you can't leave that there to Agustin Ramirez. That's his wheelhouse. He has my favorite right-handed swing, I think, ever. He just deletes baseballs. He has 11 home runs already. That's a 3-run, 440-foot moonshot. He made it a 4 RBI game later with a single, and Austin Riley, just like Colt Keith, a little, too late. The Braves, they are 34 and 40. The Marlins are 30 and 44. Baseball is also funny because the Mets went from being a legit top 2 team in baseball to being losers of 7 in a row. Wheels was Wheels. He goes 5 shutout with 8 strikeouts. He had a rare 3-walk game, so he only lasted those 5 innings. No W for him, though, because Taijuan Walker served up a couple meatballs to Pete Alonso and his buddy Jeff McNeil. They go back-to-back to tie it, but I kind of already spoiled it because I said the Mets lost 7 in a row. Trey blooped in Marshy after Marsh collected his 3rd base hit, and Philly kept peppering baseballs off of Reed Garrett. Trey scored on a bone base hit, and if you aren't looking, I need you guys to look at the screen. After Castellanos singled home Schwarber, my friend Bryson Stott laser one almost for a grand slam. Bohm scored easy. JT caught up to Nick, and they're neck and neck running home. They both had to slide in basically at the exact same time. That's a double slide. I've seen that before, but the second guy is usually out, so they're both saved. Now Castellanos, he can take his sweet time. It's 10-2 on a 2-run tater. Crazy fact for you guys. Nick Castellanos has 8 home runs and 39 RBIs, which is really good, but he has a negative WAR because his defense has been so pathetic. The Mets have lost 7 in a row. The Phillies are in the driver's seat now, 1 game up in the NL East. Let's go find the American League East because we know Tampa already won. The Yankees, they got to turn their losing streak into a winning streak. And I promise you guys, we'll talk about Astros-Angels after this one. El Kraken's back in New York. Gary Sanchez ripped a 2-run single versus old team. Now, the Yankees did get back into it. Jazzy Flair went to center for the first run, and Jason, he lifted a long sac fly, so it's 2-2. Sorry, Jason, I'm going to fast forward to Judge's 27th. He did it on his own bobblehead night. I need that bobblehead because it was the Superman version of Aaron Judge. He had 3 more base hits and a walk. He has a 371 batting average and a 470 on base. It's 2025, and folks are still running on Rocket Ramon. Why are we sending the 98-year-old Brontosaurus DJ LeMahieu home against Ramon? So that is an AL best 7th outfield assist. Fried, he still turned in a quality start, 7 strikeouts over 6. He did give up 3. Kobe Mayo dropped in a dunker, and Colton Cowser had a fantastic read off the bat. The other Ramon, Mr. Urias, he lifted one over the short porch for a home run. It's 4-3 on his 5th home run, and Gunnar, he did it again. He went from absolutely useless versus lefties to he cannot stop getting base hits off them. He's 10 for his last 20, as Felix Bautista had 2 strikeouts and a dominant 9th. He has 16 saves. The Orioles are 3-1 versus the Yankees this year. They're still 9 games under 500, and the Yankees, they're 43-32, but they're 1-7 their last 8. So we all know Arby's has the beef. Well, so did this Angels and Astros game. Ron Washington, just a quick update for you guys. I guess he's not going to be managing for a while. He's having some health complications. Prayers up for him. Now we got to talk about, whoa, Jeremy did it again. 10 home runs, 15 stolen bases, hitting .328 with the 145 OPS plus with 3 outs above average and 7 defensive run saves. He's on pace for quite literally one of the greatest 5-tool shortstop seasons ever. Isaac Paredes made it back-to-back with Jeremy Pena. He's got 16 home runs and 45 RBIs between him and Cam Smith, who's been raking lately. The Kyle Tucker trade is looking pretty good, not gonna lie. Here's the beef though. Neto, he stands pretty much on the edge, like the inside edge of the plate. He took 95 to his hands, and he said that's twice because he was referring to last year when he got hit by Hunter Brown. Brown's like, you're on the effing plate, and then rookie Christian Moore, he's in the thick of things, yelling back at Hunter Brown. Brown is like, who are you talking to? Like, what did you just say to me? Everyone's cursing at each other. Now back to the game because nothing really happened. You say he locked in after those first few home runs. He struck out the side in the 4th. He had 9 strikeouts. And Joe Adell just hit another jam. 3 consecutive games of the home run. He has 16. Can he keep it up? I don't think he's like Kyron Paris where he's going to fall off that bad, but Joe Adell is very streaky. Christian Moore, his first career home run is a moonshot, 411 feet that actually forces extras. He has all the tools. But again, this one went 10 innings. A wild pitch got reviewed. They wanted a hit by pitch, but clearly it was not a hit by pitch. It would have been a dead ball and the run would have not scored, but it does score, and Adell popped up. Bennett Sosa, he has 2 saves on the season. The Astros, they have a 5-game lead in the West. The Rangers are 7 games back in the West, but they're still very much in the playoff race because the wild card, O'Neal Cruz, he booted the ball in center field. The Rangers got handed a free run. By the way, O'Neal has 2 outs above average, so it's not like he's been that bad, but I will say on both sides of the diamond lately, he's been pretty bad. The Rangers got another free run, this time on a pass ball. It's 2-0, and Adolis Garcia, he's out there saving Jacob DeGoat, not just once, but twice. El Bombi, he probably had his best game in, I'm not going to say years, but probably years. Now he's going yard. What a performance from the Texas right fielder. DeGrom, he did give up a few. It's all good, though. He's gone 12 consecutive starts, allowing 2 runs or less. He had 7 more strikeouts. He's down to a 2.2 ERA on the season. Corey Seager, he hit his 7th home run. He's really been going through it, but look at Marcus Semien. He's proven that you can snap out of a season-long slump. He cracked a long double. He actually ended up at third base because Canario slipped and flipped it to O'Neal Cruz. Adolis, he just missed his 2nd home run of the day. He missed it by an inch. The Rangers doing easy, and again, even though they're 7 games back in their own division, at 37-39, they're 2.5 games back of a wild card spot. The Padres will be out of the playoff race and out of a wild card spot if they don't win. Now, of course, there's plenty of time to win a bunch, but I just like updating you guys on crazy standings like that. Bobby is Bobbying. Yes, I'm using Bobby Witt Jr.'s name as a verb. He's hitting .400 with 5 extra base hits his last 5 games after going like 0 for 19. India is India-ing 5 extra base hits with 7 RBIs his last 10. The Padres are now breaking out now. They got 2 singles from Luis Arraez and pinch hitter Jose Iglesias, and now we're tied up. Gavin Sheets, I've said this before and I'll say it again, he's been a godsend for the Padres. He has 45 RBIs already. I'm going to show this even though nothing came of this Xander base hit. He is now 8 for his last 8. I put out a post on Twitter making fun of his contract. We also called him out in recap, so the call out worked again. Salvi, he did have something come of this swing, an RBI single. Then Kansas City got a huge insurance run from Drew Waters, because without that, Manny Machado would have tied it. He is going to cartwheel into the Hall of Fame if he does this for the next 2 or 3 years. Now, I think the graphic on the screen jinxed Xander. You just can't show that he's 8 for 8. Carlos Estevez, he does lock in for his 22nd save. He steals the MLB lead from Padres reliever Robert Suarez. The Royals are back to 500. The Padres are, 13-17 their last 30. We got the Nationals at the Dodgers. Ahmed Rosario, he ambushed the first pitch he saw versus Kershaw. I still don't think Ahmed Rosario is very good, but he's got 4 home runs and an almost 110 OPS plus. The Dodgers, they got a run back after Mookie was able to beat out the double play. The replay overturned it, and now they're up 1. CJ stopped it, but he couldn't complete the play. Mookie is belly flopping in at home. He's safe. Pages is ridiculous. 51 RBIs because he's batting .375 with runners in scoring position. Andy Pages is turning into a legit superstar, but everyone keeps saying it's just the Dodgers lineup. No, Andy Pages is good. There's Ohtani. He singled in LA's 4th run. He also had 2 walks. He's up to over 180 OPS plus. He's disgustingly good. We have some trading of home runs now. Riley Adams, he socked his 2nd home run off of Kershaw, who's still pretty good. And wait, who hit this one? Miguel Rojas, just his 3rd home run. He's been stinky this year, an 82 OPS plus. I still really wish that Gavin Lux was on the squad, not Rojas. Oh my, the Nationals are storming back. Luis Garcia Jr., he played a 2, and if this ball lands, it'll be a tie game. Conforto! He saved the game because this next swing would have actually won it for the Nationals. CJ Abrams with a lefty pimp job versus Tanner Scott. He's got 10 home runs, 15 stolen bases, and an almost 140 OPS plus. James Wood, he can tie it. And the hard ground ball ends it. Tanner Scott has 15 saves. The Dodgers are 47-30. They're 29-13 at home. St. Louis is also a much better team at home, and they gave starting pitcher Andre Pallante a 1-run lead on a Burleson sac fly. And then Pallante got some big help from his catcher Pedro Paez with a snap throw to backpick Ellie. Andre tossed a beauty, 6 scoreless, just 2 base hits. I really wanted to tip my cap to him, but this game was pretty easy. Mason Wynn and the Redbirds hitters, they tacked on 5 more in the 7th. Mason got sawed off, but it still worked out. Gorman took a bases-loaded walk, and the Reds gift wrapped 2 more runs. The Reds, more like Spencer Steer, hit the red on his throwing meter. Nootbaar, he basically ended it. As the Cardinals, they take it for win number 41. They're 23-14 at home. Cleveland sucks on the road. I'm getting sick of watching them when they're not at Progressive. They dropped to 4 games under 500 when not in Cleveland. First name Nick, last name Kurtz. The kid is on fire. He has 5 home runs his last 6. He's on pace for 32 home runs, even though he didn't hit his first until, I believe it was May 15th. It was May 13th. I was off by 2 days. The Law Dog, Lawrence Butler, he grooved one through the hole for the A's 3rd run, and later he made a 3-hit game. He got Denzel Clark to 2nd. We know Denzel can absolutely fly. He's scoring on the Jacob Wilson single. Jacob has 40 RBIs now and a 151 OPS plus. Jeffrey Springs, no, the shutty got ruined. Pitch 104 left the yard. Angel Martinez has another home run. Springs goes 7 1/3 with 1 earned run, 3 base hits. He has 4 consecutive quality starts. Tanner Bybee did go 8 but allowed 5 runs and a bunch of base hits. Luis Urias got it past Urias. Mason Miller, no save, but Clark, he's still out there saving runs. It could very well be 4 weeks in a row that Denzel Clark takes home play of the week. He has 10 outs above average in 200 innings. Now, I don't want to ignore his 37 OPS plus. That is horrific. But the Guardians, they're 1.5 game back in the wild card race. The A's are 8.5 games back after winning 2 in a row. Question for you guys: who are the Guardians going to sell at the deadline? Speaking of the trade deadline, is Benny Biceps going to be on the move? He has 8 home runs now and a 115 OPS plus. He grabbed a 2nd RBI later, right before fellow trade candidate went yard. Luis Robert Jr. just went to the 2nd deck, 441 feet. He has 10 RBIs his last 10 games. Josh Rojas, he smacked a 2-run double. The Sox, they won an easy game up north of the border. They finally ended their losing streak. It's over 8 games. That was one of the quickest games I've ever recapped in my entire life. But there we have it, another recap in the books. Thank you guys so much for always supporting the series. You're growing the game of baseball with me, one recap at a time, and I cannot be more grateful. Don't forget to use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek as well as Underdog Fantasy. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Enjoy the web gems.
Oh, ouch. Oh my goodness, he caught it. Bro, look out. One is hit. Have a ball game. Christian Moore, first game at the Big A.
State. And a ground ball from Goldschmidt. Flagged down by Westberg. He got him at first. Certainly helped to turbocharge this Kansas City offense. It's a fair ball. Machado. A flip across the diamond. A roller past the mound. Lindor charging bare hands. Browns, and he got cast. Liner. Oh, how about that? Riley diving right into the bag for a double play.
Hits this out to fairly deep left, backpedaling is Lourdes, still backing up all the way to the wall, and he's got another one!
Line to left field, Bader coming on, he'll dive, and Bader does it again.
Field well hit, Raphael is back there at the wall, he leaps up and takes it down.
Homer at Fenway.